Shehzad Poonawalla, please respond to the charge that calling the current laws communal is really an insult and humiliation for the constitution makers, including Baba Sahib Ambedkar. That's the charge against the BJP and Prime Minister Modi.
First of all, Navika, it is not for me personally, even though it's my mother's birthday, a very happy Independence Day, especially when 50% of the country is on the streets demanding justice for Bengal's Nirbhaya, and therefore I wish everybody a very somber Independence Day. And today the discussion that we are having also, the Uniform Civil Code, ultimately it is a discussion of a major tool in the hands of women for women empowerment and women protection. And as usual, the Congress party is opposing it in the name of vote bank politics, which they have continued to do from Shah Banu to Shaira Banu, from the 1985 law that they brought to overturn the Supreme Court decision, to the opposition to the Triple Talaq law being passed after the Supreme Court asked for it to be passed. That is the stand of the Congress party. But if Sanjay Jha says that UCC should not be called secular, then in Goa, UCC was implemented by the Congress party. Were they implementing a communal law? The UCC was put in the Constitution, Article 44, and ironically they say Samvidhan Bachao, by the members of the founding fathers of the Constitution, many of whom were Congress members. So is Mr. Sanjay Jha saying that those likes of Nehru, Ambedkar ji, they were communal for putting Uniform Civil Code? By the way, this country has a Uniform Criminal Code. So having a Uniform Criminal Code is actually communal. It's not secular. That means if Sanjay now does a crime and Shehzad does a crime, Shehzad should have different punishment and Sanjay should have different punishment if we both end up in a stealing or in a murder. So this kind of logic only Sanjay Jha can give. But having said that, let me take the conversation further. Mr. Sanjay Jha is saying Ambedkar ji is being insulted. Sir, please do read the views of Ambedkar ji. He never advocated for a law that allows a 60-year-old to marry a 12-year-old and should be given protection under personal laws. In fact, he has been staunchly against this kind of laws, and Ambedkar ji's insult, Congress party should be the last person talking about it when they denied him Bharat Ratna for almost 4 decades, and they also defeated him twice while he was alive in elections. Having said that, let me come to another point also. He's asking views of TDP. Sir, first ask views of Uddhav Thackeray on this issue of UCC. He has actually supported the UCC. And lastly, I want to say that Chandrachud ji's face was shown when UCC was being spoken about, our Chief Justice. You know, it was his father who was also Chief Justice who advocated, along with many other high courts, that Uniform Civil Code should come into this country. I just have one question to ask of Sanjay Jha. Sanjay Jha, today you're not opposing a secular law. You are standing in favor of a 60-year-old man to get married to a 12-year-old girl. And would you do that in your family? The answer is no. But he wants many other people who do this, whose reality is there that they are doing this, they should get the protection in the name of personal law. So today Sanjay Jha is supporting pedophilia and he's standing against women's rights. Let the entire country see this. This is the same Sanjay Jha who will not say a word that Mamata Banerjee should resign. He will not say a word for justice for Nirbhaya and Bengal.
Sanjay Jha, it's a very thought-provoking, derivative of the facts, that you stand in support of.
Navika, let me just kind of answer him back, since he started by talking about protection of women. Let me tell you, Navika, and I'm going to take 20 seconds only. We are celebrating our Independence Day today, and Vinesh Phogat has not got her silver medal. And we all know how this political party actually stopped her from even leading a regular life of a sports person, because they wanted to protect a BJP leader who sexually harassed her and several athletes. And go back 2 years earlier, Mr. Shehzad, to the 75th celebration of India's independence, when Bilkis Banu's rapists were released, 11 of them. And you have the audacity and the effrontery here to talk about women power?
Well,
head in shame.
I would also want you to remind you, because Bilkis Bano, I take your point. Vinesh Phogat, I take your point. Brij Bhushan Singh, I take your point. But I also want to bring to the notice of all our viewers that it took 5 days for Rahul Gandhi to put out a single tweet on Bengal. So this selective political gimmickry that goes on is not lost on anybody, Sanjay Jha.
For one line.
Bengal is horrific and everybody has condemned it.
No, but it took 5 days. It took 5 days for Mr. Rahul Gandhi to respond. Horrific, we know. we've been asking questions about that, but obviously Rahul Gandhi had no time. He had time for the Hindenburg report and the opposition to that, but he had no time to tweet on Kolkata, and that is the selective politics that needs to be exposed, and selective
Sure.
politics on the
16 months
uniform
Mr. Modi
civil
hasn't gone
code.
to Manipur.
Selective
16 months he hasn't
politics
gone
on
to
the
Manipur.
uniform civil code is something that the Congress has resorted to every single time. But you want to know Deepak Reddy? Deepak Reddy,